If you haven't yet downloaded IR Author and you're not familiar with opening something from a catalog and checking it out, please go ahead and watch those videos in the Getting Started area of our portal home. They're going to give you a baseline on how to download it, how to connect to the catalog, and how to open a Rule application. So we can see I've got our Rule application open right here. We have a clue that this is probably the one we should work with just by the way this is named. I'm going to go ahead and check this Rule application out. I want to check out everything. So the schema, the rule set, and element items. That way if we want to make any kind of changes, we can, and we know it's all checked out and reserved for us to make those changes. All right, so right now we see that there are a number of conditions here. That's everything that doesn't have the green. And then we've got the one action here, Internet Service Mismatch action. So first, let's make sure we understand how decision tables work. Each one of these rows we can think of as a rule in and of itself. And so what it's saying is if internet service is no and device protection is yes, regardless of anything else going on, go ahead and run this action. And so we've essentially done that all the way down for all of these no conditions and anywhere where yes might occur across the line. Now there's a zillion other combinations we could possibly have, but really these are the 6 that we're interested in that we want to cause an invalid message to occur. So now let's take a look at our actions. Right now we just have that one, internet service mismatch. And you see that we've got the ability to do a set value action, which is pretty common in the decision automation industry. But what really sets InRule apart is the freedom that you get from this business language option. So I've actually got multiple actions hanging off of this one action. So the first is marking the customer invalid and displaying a warning message. And then I actually stop all rule execution and log a message so that if somebody wanted to tease out of the execution logs later what happened, they would see something. Let's go ahead and add a second action here. I'm going to call this the video action because we're doing this together in this self-guided video. And then we can create an action rule. Let's go ahead and make it multiple actions just like the last one. So we're going to choose action set. And then we can look at this one for a guide. So we want to mark the customer invalid and display a message. So let's type mark, and it immediately presents what it is that we need. We want this customer, so I just typed THI and it found what I wanted. We want to mark it invalid and display, this is my example from the Quick Start Guide. That way we know clearly this is the one that we just did together. Let's add a second action. In this case, let's fire a notification. Notifications are a way to send messages to a user to display a message above and beyond this invalid notice. So let's go ahead and fire a notification. Again, this is just going to be, this is an example of a notification. And then notifications have a few extra features that we could put in here. So the first one is type. So as notification type, let's make it an informational notification. It's not, we already are marking it invalid. It's not truly an error. And so it's just an informational notification. And the other thing that we can do is allow multiple. So if this were to execute multiple times, you have the option of just showing the last most recent notification or showing all of the notifications that occur. So we're just going to have informational. Now, the other thing that we want to do is halt all remaining rule execution, because what we want to do here is say, hey, there is something going on and nothing else should occur until that first thing is addressed. So I'm going to hit halt all rule execution. This is an example message. All right. So we've now got a second action that we've created, and see how much richer it is than just the plain old set value. Now, set value is powerful and good, and you can use it for all kinds of things. But it's pretty handy when you can kind of start to build out a scenario of stuff that happens depending on the conditions in a decision table. All right, I'm going to click OK, and then let's go look at our JSON file again and just understand which one we want this action to occur on. So it's when internet service is no, but online backup is yes. That is the scenario where I want our new action to occur. So internet service is no, online backup is yes. Let's click here and change that to the video action we just built together. All right, now here's the cool thing about the InRule decision platform. Within IR Author, we have a fully featured tester called IR Verify. So it's going to run our rules exactly as we would expect them to run in production, and I don't need a separate test environment. I don't need to check it in. It is readily available to me on our home ribbon. I can just click on test, and it's the customer rules. So now, once IR Verify pops up, we're going to load in that exact same JSON file. And that's another cool thing of the InRule decision platform. I could sit here and enter information, but handily I've got this load button. We're going to click on it, navigate to our JSON file, and load that information in. All right, we've got that JSON in there. I'm going to click on Apply Rules, and we should see a few things happen. Here is our new thing that we wrote together. This is my example from the Quick Start Guide. So this is a data validation error. So we see that right here. Then we see there's a notification, and it says this is an example of a notification. And if we come over just a hair, we see a tab called Validation Changes, and it says right here, marked invalid, customer 1. This is my example from the Quick Start Guide. So everything that we just wanted to do worked perfectly first try. In the next video, we're going to start looking at the machine learning model we're working with, and then start adding machine learning into our decision automation.